Very good morning, children. We'll continue with our lesson 6, that is World After 1945. We have already done page 39 and 40. We'll continue from page 41. Rise of independent nations in Asia. India achieved independence in 1947 after a freedom struggle. Owing to the British policies of divide and rule and certain other reasons, the country was divided into two nations. This already we have studied in our previous chapter, namely India and Pakistan. In the same way, with continuous struggle against Britishers, countries like Sri Lanka and Myanmar got independence in 1948. These are our neighboring countries. They struggled with Britishers and they also got independence. In the case of Indonesia, the United Nations played a very important role in the year 1949. All these countries are in Asia. So how they started getting independence in Asia. Asian countries like Laos, Cambodia and Vietnam too got independence. Now the rise of independent nations in Africa. This was all about Asia, now in Africa. After the Second World War, it has been proved to be a good omen for the enslaved nations of Africa. After the Second World War, countries like Abyssinia, that is Ethiopia, South Africa and Egypt were independent. The Second World War and the freedom struggle in Asian countries inspired the other African countries too. Because after the Second World War, these countries which above we studied in Asia, they were struggling. We ourselves also were struggling to get independent. So after looking into it, they were inspired and the African countries too got the independence. It resulted in that during the tenure of 16 years, from 1951 to 1966, almost 40 small and large countries became free. Imperialist countries tried to have supremacy over these countries, but these countries either joined the superpowers or the military resources and got their freedom. Non-aligned movement. Some new nations adopted the policy of not to align with any of the two super blocs and military blocs. You see, they had two superpowers as we know in the world. So some were there nations which has adopted the policy not to get along with these two power blocks or any military blocks. They decided that they will be maintaining equal distance with both the blocks. These nations were said to be identified. उनको कैसे पहचाना, क्या नाम दिया उनको? As non-allied nation, and their foreign policy was called as non-aligned policy. Those neutral nations that did not want to adopt the ideologies of either of the two superpowers of the world wished to have an all-round development, maintaining its unique existence. Under the leadership of India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, Indonesia's first President Sukarno, Egypt's second President Gamal Abdel Nasser, Ghana's first President Kwame Nkrumah and Yugoslavia President Joseph Broz Tito got a thumping support for this movement. They all supported what? Non-aligned policy and non-aligned movement. In this non-aligned council, 23 countries of Asia, 6 countries of Africa were present. The organization was founded in Belgrade in 1961, known as NAM, Non-Aligned Movement. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, the policies of non-aligned were framed. NAM completed valuable leadership. Nehru believed that movement continues to see a role for itself as it is viewed the world's poorest nations remained exploited and marginalized, no longer by opposing superpowers but rather in a unipolar world and in the Western hegemony and neo-colonialism that the movement has really realigned itself again. See what he has said. Nehru believed this movement will continue to see a role for itself, खुद के लिए. As a view, the world's poorest nations remained exploited. The nations which are poor will not be getting exploited, no longer by opposing superpowers, but rather in a unipolar world. It's a Western hegemony and neo-colonialism that the movement has really realigned itself again. It opposes foreign occupation, interference in internal affairs, and aggressive unilateral measures, but it has also shifted the focus on socio-economic challenges facing member states, especially the inequalities manifested by globalization and implication of neoliberal policies. So, see, in this they oppose the foreign occupation. They don't want to interfere in the internal affairs and aggressive unilateral measures, but it has shifted to focus on these areas. They were not putting their nose into it, poking their nose, but they shifted on what? Socio-economic challenges, socially, economically, isn't it? Especially the inequalities which is being manifested by globalization and implications of neoliberal, the policies liberal, not strict to any of the ideologies. The non-aligned movement has identified economic underdevelopment, poverty, and social injustice as growing threats to peace and security. Today, more and more countries have joined the non-aligned movement. Union Summit is held at Kuala Lumpur on 13th May 2003. For the last 4 decades, many incidents have happened with the disintegration of Soviet Union and Russia's power discrete. See, because of all these things, people got alert, and because of this, the Soviet Union's power has been decreased. America emerged as a superpower. Imperial policies decreased to minimum in other countries, and in this situation, non-aligned movement played a very dominant role. The non-aligned nations with their non-aligned policy were successful in contributing towards world politics. Now the whole world, internationally, it has been very helpful getting success in contributing towards the politics, world politics. The non-aligned movement was successful in showing off its moral impact for maintaining world peace, जिसकी हमें तलाश थी, जो हम सोच रहे थे कि 2 बार वर्ल्ड वॉर हुए और उसकी वजह से इतना सारा डिस्ट्रक्शन हुआ. बट नाउ वी वांट टू स्टॉप द वॉर, वी वांट पीस, we want to maintain the human society, the nationalism, and as well as superpowers adopting an attitude of disarmament. These superpowers will slowly and gradually will also be adopting the attitude of disarmament, because they were showing their powers by producing maximum weapons, as that too lethal weapons, and also they were trying to improve their military base. So this has been given everyone the attitude of disarmament. Now the next point, which is partition and unification of Germany. Very interesting, children. We'll go to the next page, that is page 42. Germany was the main cause behind both the world wars. ये हमने पहले ही पढ़ा था. Germany was the main cause behind both the wars. It faced a humiliating defeat in World War II. उनके साथ बहुत बुरा हुआ था Second World War में. All its states, administration and economy collapsed completely. There was not a single large party left in the whole of Germany that could rule the nations. In addition to that, there was a fear that Germany would pose threat to the world once again. सबको यही डर था कि तीसरी बार जर्मनी की वजह से कुछ प्रॉब्लम ना हो. If it emerges a military power once again. Therefore, the defeated Germany was divided into 4 administrative segments. Now see, because they had a fear that it may happen that Germany will come again into a place where a war can be possible. So they divided the Germany into 4 segments. The Soviet Red Army in the later phase of the world had captured the eastern part of the Germany. Therefore, it was accepted that eastern Germany would remain in their control. Whereas it was decided that America would control southwestern side of Germany, France would control its near France, while Britain would control areas of Germany bordering Belgium and Holland. So which were the 4 controlled? Russia, America, France and Britain. These 4 segments were divided amongst them. जो उनके आसपास के एरिया है बॉर्डर के पास, वो सारे जर्मनी के उन्होंने ले लिए. America, France, Britain started thinking about certain alternative arrangement. Meanwhile, an atmosphere of distrust and doubt had already started between 2 power blocks. America and other Western European countries established Federal Republic of Germany. This was administered jointly by America, Britain, and France. On the other side, the Soviet Union also declared the East Germany as Democratic Republic of Germany. Thus, after the war, two independent German states came into existence, namely West Germany, Democratic, and East Germany, Communist. So this how it happens. See, again I'll tell you. Try to understand. America, France, and Britain started thinking some alternative arrangement. So what they did, the atmosphere of distrust was there. They had a doubt. So what they did amongst these two power blocks, America and Russia. So America and other Western European countries, what they established? Federal Republic of Germany. Sorry. This was administered jointly by America, Britain and France. फेडरल रिपब्लिक ऑफ जर्मनी बनाया इन्होंने, और किसने ध्यान दिया उन पर, किसने एडमिनिस्ट्रेट किया जॉइंटली? अमेरिका, ब्रिटेन एंड फ्रांस ने. और अदर साइड सोवियत यूनियन, दे डिक्लेयर्ड ईस्ट जर्मनी एज डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक ऑफ ईस्ट जर्मनी. Thus, after the war of two independent German states came into existence, namely West Germany, Democratic, and East Germany, Communist. As Germany's three western segments were united, three administrative segments of Berlin also united. In a reaction to this, Soviet Union in April 1948 declared Berlin blockade. This resulted into tremendous tension between the Soviet Union and the Western countries, that is Britain, America and France. Later on, a high and 42 long wall separating Western and Eastern Berlin was constructed. इन्होंने इतनी बड़ी लंबी सी दीवार बना दी. The communist government tried to prevent thousands of East German citizens from jumping and entering into the free atmosphere of Western Germany. Western Germany was a democratic and Eastern Germany was communist. So they were not allowing them to enter into the Eastern Germany was trying to enter into a Western Germany because it was a democratic area. Many people lost their lives in doing so. After about 4.5 decades, almost 40 to 45 years, Western Germany made an astonishing development. They made astonishing मतलब बहुत प्रोग्रेस किया. Experts consider this as a German miracle. What is German miracle? That is the development in the Western Germany. There was no remarkable change in the economic condition of East Germany. There was no much changes. Actually, no changes. The East German communist government crushed the hopes of its people for political freedom and rapid economic. So वहाँ के लोग बड़े उदास थे, उनको कुछ भी नहीं मिला. Till 1990, many important and far-fetching changes took place in international politics. That we are talking about the world politics. सब जगह changes आ गए. Owing to many reasons, the Cold War among superpowers was also ended. These years witnessed cracks in otherwise impregnable Soviet Union. There was also a change in the Soviet Union, which we are going to study, that is the disintegration of Soviet Union. Ultimately, Soviet Union was disintegrated. As a consequence of it, on October 3rd, 1990, both the Germany also got united. People, they broke down the German wall, which was a symbol of German division. People considered demolition of the Berlin Wall as the end of the Cold War era and celebrated the occasion wholeheartedly. Today, unified Germany has turned out to be the strongest economic power in Europe. After 1990, they have made a tremendous efforts to be the strongest economic nation in the last decades. Today, it has become one of the most important and leading nations in the European. So almost it took 30 years to come into a leading nations of the European Union. Now we'll see the disintegration of the Soviet Union. Now during the last decade of 20th century, during this time only 1990 onwards. Soviet Union's Prime Minister, whose name was Mikhail Gorbachev, he was little liberal. He was having a policy to the disintegration of Soviet Union. Peaceful disintegration of Soviet Union is considered as making, which is giving a very important in the international politics. Mikhail Gorbachev became the prime minister from the socialist side on 11th March 1989. He was having a liberal attitude. He was not a communist, he was from the socialist area. Russia had progressed tremendously in the field of science and technology. They also had acquired capability to compete with superpowers because they themselves was a superpower. So America and Russia was said to be the two superpowers. So both were the rivals, both were the competitors, and they were having that capability of competing with America because they have advanced science, advanced technology. Gorbachev adopted two policies, glasnost and perestroika. In this way, Gorbachev introduced economic and political reforms in the place of single-handed communist rule. What he has introduced? The economic and political reforms in the place of single-handed communist rule. The stronghold of Communist Party, the Soviet bureaucracy, and the Red Army started weakening. These other communist parties started getting weak. In 1990, process of disintegration of Soviet Union started. Towards the end, out of 15 states, 14 states became independent and the disintegration of Soviet Union came to an end in December 1991. Got it all of you? Children, we will continue in a third part, part 3, page 43, page 44 and page 45. By that time, you have to go through these lesson, read it nicely, try to mark the answers which is already been there, and read the lesson twice and write the answers in your notebook. Thank you.